Origins of the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar were founded in 1119 by Hugh de Payens, a French knight who, along with a small group of 9 other knights, established the order during the aftermath of the First Crusade. Their original mission was to provide protection for Christian pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem and other holy sites in the Holy Land, which had been conquered from Muslim control during the Crusades. The name Templar itself derives from their association with the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, believed to have once stood on the Temple Mount. Initially, the Knights Templar operated as a monastic order following the rule of Saint Bernard, similar to other monastic orders like the Benedictines and Cistercians. They lived a life of poverty, chastity, and obedience, and their primary duty was to defend Christian territories in the Holy Land. However, as the Templars grew in influence and power, their responsibilities expanded far beyond military service. Their role evolved to include overseeing the security of Christian holdings in the Holy Land, managing large tracts of land, and eventually establishing a banking system for both secular and religious patrons. The Templars became the wealthiest and most powerful military order of their time, wielding political influence across Europe and the Middle East. Their origins, though rooted in religious zealotry, laid the foundation for the transformation of the Knights Templar into one of the most formidable institutions in medieval history. Rise in power and influence. The rise of the Knights Templar to immense power and influence can be traced back to their pivotal role in the Crusades and their ability to leverage military success, strategic alliances, and the establishment of an efficient financial system. Initially founded to protect Christian pilgrims traveling through the dangerous territories of the Holy Land, the Templars quickly expanded their scope to include more substantial responsibilities in both military and administrative capacities. Their involvement in the Crusades gave them the opportunity to demonstrate their military prowess. The Templars were disciplined, highly organized, and well-trained knights who fought alongside kings and other noble forces to secure Christian-controlled territories. Their strategic importance in key battles, such as the Siege of Jerusalem in 1099 and the defense of Christian outposts, cemented their reputation as indispensable warriors. In addition to their military achievements, the Templars' influence grew through their acquisition of vast tracts of land across Europe and the Middle East. These lands provided the foundation for their wealth, which was further bolstered by donations from wealthy patrons and rulers seeking to gain favor with the Church and secure their own positions of power. Over time, the Templars became not just a religious and military order, but a powerful economic entity. They became involved in managing estates, protecting investments, and facilitating loans between nobles and kings, establishing one of the earliest forms of international banking. Through these efforts, the Templars amassed enormous wealth and prestige, surpassing many secular rulers of the time. Their ability to effectively manage finances, conduct international business, and maintain influence across borders allowed them to rival, and in some cases surpass, the power of monarchs and popes. The sheer scale of their power and wealth made them a target for both political rivals and ambitious rulers eager to curb their influence. Nonetheless, the Templars' rise to prominence played a significant role in shaping the medieval world and the power structures that defined it. Military prowess. The Knights Templar were renowned for their exceptional military skills and disciplined approach to combat. As a monastic military order, their primary mission was to defend Christian territories in the Holy Land during the Crusades, and they played a significant role in several key battles and campaigns. Their ability to organize and fight effectively on the battlefield helped them earn a reputation as some of the most formidable warriors of the medieval period. One of the most notable aspects of the Templar military prowess was their strict adherence to a highly structured training regime. Members of the order were trained in combat techniques, siege warfare, and tactical leadership from a young age. Their training involved rigorous physical conditioning, mastery of weaponry, and the study of battlefield strategy. This level of discipline and preparation ensured that Templars were not only adept at combat, but also well prepared to lead and manage troops in high-pressure situations. Their involvement in several significant crusade campaigns, such as the Siege of Acre and the Battle of Athene, further solidified their reputation as a disciplined and well-equipped fighting force. The Templars demonstrated their ability to hold crucial positions, defend fortifications, and execute complex military strategies. Unlike many other knightly orders or secular armies, the Templars had a distinct advantage due to their ability to maintain both a spiritual and militaristic focus, combining faith with tactical expertise. Additionally, the Templars were known for their ability to adapt to different battlefield situations. They utilized advanced siege tactics, including the construction of powerful fortifications and the deployment of large numbers of cavalry and infantry. Their strong leadership and strategic foresight ensured that the Templars remained a formidable force throughout the Crusades and beyond. Their military prowess was not only limited to battlefield victories, but also included the management and defense of key religious and strategic sites in the Holy Land. The Templars were responsible for securing routes for pilgrimages, defending holy places like Jerusalem, and safeguarding Christian control over critical regions. This military effectiveness contributed to their rise in power and made them a key force in shaping medieval military history. Religious zeal and symbolism. The Knights Templar were deeply rooted in religious devotion, following a strict monastic code that blended military service with spiritual discipline. As a military religious order, their primary objective was to serve and protect the Christian faith, particularly during the tumultuous Crusades when Christian control of the Holy Land was under constant threat. Their adherence to religious principles was a defining aspect of their identity, shaping their actions, beliefs, and the way they were perceived by both allies and adversaries. At the heart of Templar devotion was their commitment to the defense of Christianity, which was closely tied to the defense of pilgrims traveling to sacred sites in the Holy Land. This religious zeal extended beyond mere physical protection, as the Templars also engaged in the spiritual care of their fellow Christians. Their monasteries were places of prayer, reflection, and communal worship, where knights, chaplains, and lay brothers would gather to perform acts of devotion, attend Mass, and participate in rituals that emphasized their dedication to God and the Christian mission. Symbolism played a significant role in how the Templars expressed their religious fervor. One of the most recognizable symbols associated with the order was the white mantle with a red cross. This emblem not only represented their commitment to the Christian faith, but also served as a mark of distinction on the battlefield. The red cross symbolized sacrifice, courage, and the Templars' willingness to lay down their lives in the service of God and Christianity. Their banners, seals, and armor were adorned with Christian imagery, reinforcing their religious identity as both warriors and defenders of the faith. Additionally, the Templars took vows of chastity, poverty, and obedience, similar to those of other monastic orders such as the Benedictines or Cistercians, emphasizing their role as servants of God. These vows, however, were distinctive in the Templar context, blending the ascetic lifestyle with the demands of military service. Their religious discipline was evident in the way they conducted themselves during battles, observing rituals and prayers even amidst the chaos of war. Beyond their military and religious devotion, the Templars also embodied a sense of mysticism that contributed to their enigmatic reputation. Their secretive nature, combined with their extensive network of castles and properties, fostered speculation about their esoteric knowledge, sacred rites, and secret ceremonies. This air of mystery added to the allure of their religious zeal, making them both revered and feared by many in the medieval world. Financial and economic power. The Knights Templar were not only a military and religious order, but also one of the earliest and most powerful financial institutions of the medieval world. Their ability to manage wealth, engage in banking, and oversee vast economic networks contributed significantly to their influence and power. The immense wealth they accumulated through land donations, religious offerings, and economic ventures helped to solidify their position as a dominant force in both secular and spiritual domains. Initially, the Templars were supported through donations and contributions from wealthy individuals and monarchs, who sought to earn spiritual merit and secure protection from the Templars' military prowess. However, as the order grew in size and influence, their economic activities expanded. The Templars began to manage vast estates, receive rents and tributes from landowners, and engage in lucrative trade. Their economic model was further strengthened by the fact that they could access resources from the Holy Land and control important trade routes, which made them indispensable to both religious and secular rulers. One of the most significant contributions to their financial power was the creation of one of the first international banking systems. Pilgrims, nobles, and merchants could deposit their funds in Templar-controlled accounts, which could be accessed across different regions of Europe and the Middle East. This system allowed for secure transactions, loans, and financial services that reduced the risks associated with medieval travel and commerce. Travelers could deposit money in one location and withdraw it at another, thanks to the Templar network of castles, headquarters, and established offices across Christendom. In addition to banking, the Templars became deeply involved in lending and financing large-scale projects. Monarchs, nobles, and even the papacy often relied on Templar financial support to fund crusades, military expeditions, and infrastructure projects. For instance, King Baldwin II of Jerusalem granted the Templars a portion of the revenues from the Holy Sepulchre, one of the most sacred sites in Jerusalem, to manage their operations and contribute to the upkeep of Christian territories. Their economic influence extended beyond direct financial activities. The Templars were major players in trade and commerce, dealing in commodities like grain, precious metals, textiles, and spices. They held significant control over trade routes, particularly those connecting Europe with the Holy Land, and acted as intermediaries for merchants seeking to trade with the Middle East. Through their role in commerce, they facilitated cross-cultural exchanges that had a profound impact on the economy of the medieval period. The sheer scale of their financial empire made the Templars a powerful force that rivaled even secular rulers in terms of wealth and influence. Their ability to control vast sums of money, manage complex economic networks, and provide financial stability allowed them to expand their influence far beyond military and religious boundaries, ensuring their position as a dominant institution in medieval Europe. Political influence. The Knights Templar wielded significant political influence throughout medieval Europe and the Middle East. While their primary mission was religious and military, their involvement in the political sphere grew as they expanded their power and wealth. The Templars established strong ties with monarchs, popes, and influential figures, which allowed them to play a central role in the shaping of political landscapes during the Crusades and beyond. One of the key factors contributing to their political power was their ability to maintain close relationships with European monarchs and rulers. Kings and nobles sought the support of the Templars to solidify their rule, expand territories, and secure their positions in the face of rival powers. For instance, King Baldwin II of Jerusalem granted the Templars vast estates and privileges in exchange for their military protection and administrative capabilities. Similarly, European monarchs turned to the Templars for financial and logistical support, knowing that their influence extended far beyond their military duties. The Templars' political reach was not confined to the battlefield. They often served as intermediaries between different states, religious authorities, and local rulers. Their extensive network of properties and assets throughout Europe and the Middle East gave them a unique vantage point to act as peacekeepers, negotiators, and advisors in times of conflict. In some instances, the Templars were called upon to mediate disputes between rival factions, whether they were political, territorial, or religious in nature. Moreover, the Templars had a strong connection with the Church, which further amplified their political power. They were often seen as defenders of Christian orthodoxy, and their close association with the papacy allowed them to influence important ecclesiastical decisions. Popes sought the Templars' counsel on matters of crusading strategy, religious reform, and even the expansion of the Christian territories in the Holy Land. This relationship enabled the Templars to exert considerable influence over religious policy and decisions, shaping the course of Christian history during the Crusades. Their influence extended beyond individual rulers and local regions to a more pan-European level. The Templars served as a model of centralized authority, governance, and hierarchical organization, which impressed both secular and ecclesiastical leaders. The way they managed their properties, finances, and military operations demonstrated a level of sophistication in political administration that was uncommon for monastic orders of the time. This administrative prowess allowed them to navigate complex political landscapes with ease, maintaining their power despite internal and external pressures. Their political clout was also evident in their ability to operate independently from secular control. Unlike other religious orders that were directly influenced by local monarchs, the Templars enjoyed a degree of autonomy. This independence made them a powerful force in both religious and secular arenas, with the ability to challenge, support, or manipulate political developments to their advantage. The accusations and trials. The downfall of the Knights Templar began in the early 14th century with a series of accusations that ultimately led to their trial and eventual suppression. In the early 1300s, the Templars had become one of the most powerful and wealthy institutions in Europe, which attracted both admiration and envy. Their influence over monarchs, their vast economic empire, and their secretive practices created an atmosphere of suspicion among secular rulers and the papacy. The primary catalyst for the downfall of the Templars was King Philip IV of France, who sought to weaken their power for political and financial gain. Philip had become deeply indebted to the Templars, who were involved in managing royal finances. However, his need for money exceeded what the Templars could provide, and he saw the opportunity to destroy them as a way to escape his financial burdens while consolidating more power for himself. In October 1307, King Philip ordered the mass arrest of Templars throughout France, launching the beginning of the persecution. Over the next few weeks, thousands of Templars were captured across the kingdom. These arrests were carried out in secrecy, with many high-ranking Templars imprisoned in Paris and subjected to harsh interrogations and torture to extract confessions of heresy, blasphemy, and devil worship. The charges against the Templars were both scandalous and multifaceted. Accusations ranged from heretical practices, including the denial of Christ, idolatry, and the worship of a mysterious idol known as Baphomet, to allegations of financial misconduct, secretive oaths, and anti-clerical behavior. The torturous nature of these investigations often led to false confessions, with many Templars forced to admit to practices they likely never participated in. The trials were further fueled by political pressures, as King Philip sought to undermine the Templars' influence while also claiming their vast wealth. In 1309, Pope Clement V was pressured by Philip to dissolve the order. Under intense political pressure, Pope Clement V, who had relocated his papal court to Avignon, officially dissolved the Knights Templar in 1312 at the Council of Vienne. The Pope declared the order guilty of heresy and suppressed its activities, stripping the Templars of their privileges, possessions, and standing within the Christian Church. Despite the suppression, the Templars were not immediately disbanded across all regions of Europe. In many places, particularly in Portugal and parts of Italy, the order continued to exist in secret or was absorbed into other religious institutions. However, in France, where the persecution was most intense, the order was effectively eradicated, leading to the execution of several high-ranking Templars, including Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the order, who was burned at the stake in 1314. The accusations and trials surrounding the Templars were a turning point in medieval history, marking a shift towards centralized state power and a more coordinated effort to control the influence of religious and military institutions. The suppression of the Templars symbolized the end of their political, economic, and spiritual dominance, though their legacy continued to thrive in secrecy and through the formation of later secret societies. Forced confessions and torture. The downfall of the Knights Templar during the early 14th century was largely influenced by the use of forced confessions and brutal torture techniques. As accusations mounted against the order, both secular and ecclesiastical authorities resorted to extreme methods to extract confessions from Templars, many of whom had spent years in positions of high trust and power. These tactics, combined with political pressures and the personal ambitions of key figures like King Philip IV of France, led to the eventual suppression of the Templars. Torture was a standard practice during the trials of the Templars. In many cases, Templars were subjected to physical and psychological torment to coerce confessions. Techniques included the use of the rack, the strappado, where the victim was suspended from their hands, then dropped, thumb screws, and other devices meant to inflict pain and induce fear. The aim was not only to extract admissions of guilt, but also to instill fear in others who might hold loyalties to the order. In many instances, the confessions were taken under extreme duress. High-ranking Templars, including Grand Masters and senior officials, were particularly targeted, given their leadership roles within the order. The pressure to comply with accusations created a climate of fear, and many were willing to say whatever was necessary to escape further torment. These forced confessions often involved false admissions of heretical practices, such as idol worship, blasphemy, and ritualized denials of Christianity. The testimonies extracted through torture were frequently inconsistent and contradictory. Victims would provide conflicting accounts, depending on the intensity and duration of the torture they endured. This lack of consistency, however, was often disregarded, and the confessions were presented as evidence against the order in trials. The role of torture was not limited to low-ranking Templars. Even high-ranking officials like Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the order, were subjected to these methods. De Molay, under immense pressure and after months of imprisonment, was forced to admit to practices that were widely considered impossible by the order's strict monastic and chivalric code. His eventual execution further highlighted the lengths to which authorities were willing to go to dismantle the Templars. In addition to physical torture, psychological manipulation played a significant role. Many Templars were isolated, denied communication with one another, and made to endure prolonged periods of uncertainty and psychological stress. These tactics were designed to break down resistance, leading victims to disclose anything in order to escape their suffering. The use of forced confessions and torture not only undermined the integrity of the judicial process, but also fueled the widespread mistrust of the Templars. The public was led to believe that the confessions were genuine, even though they were extracted under duress and were often unreliable. This fueled the eventual suppression of the Templars, as their confessions were used to legitimize accusations of heresy and corruption. Legacy and mythology. The Knights Templar left behind a profound legacy that extends far beyond their dissolution in the early 14th century. Their influence can still be felt in modern history, culture, and mythology, largely due to their secretive nature, enigmatic symbolism, and the numerous conspiracy theories that surround their rise and fall. Over the centuries, the Templars have become the subject of countless legends, books, and films, and their legacy continues to shape popular perceptions of secrecy, mysticism, and hidden knowledge. One of the most enduring aspects of the Templar legacy is their association with the concept of the hidden truth. Their suppression, combined with the rumors and accusations of secret rituals, esoteric knowledge, and the possession of sacred artifacts such as the Holy Grail, has fueled widespread fascination. The idea that the Templars held ancient secrets, possibly linked to religious or spiritual truths, has led to the belief that they had access to knowledge that could challenge the foundations of Christianity itself. Templar symbolism has also played a significant role in creating a sense of mystery and mystique. The red cross on a white mantle, once a symbol of their faith and military service, has become iconic. This emblem, coupled with their secretive rituals and hierarchical structure, has become associated with clandestine organizations and secret societies throughout history. The idea of hidden orders within society, such as the Templars, sparks intrigue and conspiracy theories about a world beneath the surface of official history. The Templars' role in banking and finance further contributed to their mystique. Their involvement in early forms of international finance laid the groundwork for modern banking systems, and the secrecy surrounding their financial empire has led to speculation about the vast wealth they allegedly accumulated. This has led to popular theories about hidden treasure, lost wealth, and buried assets that remain undiscovered to this day. Their suppression in 1312 did not signify the complete end of the Templar Order. Many historians believe that remnants of the order continued to operate in secrecy, transitioning into other institutions or forming the basis for subsequent secret societies, such as the Freemasons. This continuation adds to the allure of their legacy, as the Templars became a symbol of resilience and an enduring influence on future generations. In modern times, the Templars have been mythologized in popular culture, appearing in films, novels, and conspiracy theories that combine historical fact with fictional elements. The notion that the Templars wielded hidden power or played a crucial role in world events has become a popular trope, inspiring both scholars and storytellers to explore their influence beyond medieval times. The Templars' legacy, thus, is not confined to historical records, but has become an essential component of cultural imagination, where they represent a combination of history, myth, and mystery that continues to captivate audiences around the world. The rise of secret societies and Templar influence. The suppression of the Knights Templar in the early 14th century did not mark the complete disappearance of their influence. Instead, their legacy continued to shape the development of secret societies and various influential organizations throughout history. The mystery surrounding the Templars' suppression, their alleged secrets, and their extensive networks provided fertile ground for the rise of other groups that sought to preserve or emulate their influence. One of the most enduring aspects of the Templar legacy is the foundation of secret societies that claim to trace their origins back to the Templars. After the official dissolution of the order, many Templar knights and supporters sought refuge in different regions, maintaining elements of the order's traditions and rituals in secret. This led to the development of groups like the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, and other esoteric organizations that adopted Templar symbols, secrecy, and a sense of mystical knowledge. The Freemasons, in particular, have been closely linked with Templar traditions. Many historians and scholars argue that the Masonic ideals of secrecy, symbolic rituals, and charitable works were influenced by the organizational structure and spiritual practices of the Templars. Like the Templars, the Freemasons emphasize fraternity, moral values, and the pursuit of enlightenment, although their scope is more philosophical and civic than militaristic. Another group, the Rosicrucians, drew heavily from the Templar legacy in promoting ideas of spiritual renewal and alchemical knowledge. Their emphasis on hidden knowledge, sacred wisdom, and the quest for truth resonates with the mystique associated with the Templars. These groups often incorporated the same kind of esoteric rituals and secret doctrines that were rumored to have been practiced by the original order. In addition to the emergence of specific secret societies, the Templars influenced broader concepts of power and secrecy. The idea of an elite group of individuals possessing hidden knowledge or controlling the course of history through covert means became a prevalent theme in conspiratorial thinking. Many conspiracy theories attribute the manipulation of political events, global finances, and even religious doctrines to descendants of the Templars or organizations that were influenced by their legacy. The Templar influence can also be seen in the proliferation of popular culture depictions that blur the line between historical fact and fictional imagination. Books like The Da Vinci Code and National Treasure, as well as films like Kingdom of Heaven and documentaries, continue to explore the idea of a secret Templar society with vast influence. These portrayals often highlight themes of hidden treasures, suppressed truths, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil, all of which are attributed to Templar lore. Moreover, the rise of alternative histories and revisionist narratives has kept the Templar legacy alive. By reinterpreting historical events through the lens of Templar influence, modern historians and writers contribute to the ongoing fascination with the order. This has led to new theories about their involvement in global power structures, secret alliances, and even speculation about extraterrestrial connections. The Templars' enduring influence is evident in the way they have transcended their historical boundaries to become a symbol of mystery, power, and the quest for hidden truths. Through secret societies, popular media, and conspiracy theories, the Templars remain a pivotal figure in shaping discussions about power, knowledge, and the unknown forces that govern human history. The role of the Templars in the Crusades. The Knights Templar played a significant and multifaceted role during the Crusades, which were a series of military campaigns initiated by European Christians to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. Established as a monastic military order, the Templars combined religious devotion with martial prowess, providing both spiritual and military support to Christian forces. Their involvement in the Crusades was crucial in securing and defending Christian territories, as well as establishing a Christian foothold in the Middle East. One of the primary roles of the Templars during the Crusades was their involvement in military operations. They were among the most disciplined and well-organized fighting forces in Christian history, with a strict code of conduct that balanced religious devotion with martial excellence. The Templars were known for their tactical expertise, leadership on the battlefield, and the ability to adapt to the complexities of warfare in unfamiliar territories. Their combat effectiveness contributed to the success of Christian expeditions, such as the Siege of Jerusalem in 1099. The Templars also played a crucial role in the protection of pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. With Jerusalem at the heart of Christian religious significance, the Templars ensured the safety of pilgrims who journeyed to sacred sites like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Their fortified castles and strategically located outposts provided security along dangerous routes, offering a sense of safety in an otherwise perilous journey. Beyond their military contributions, the Templars were deeply involved in the administration and governance of Christian territories in the Holy Land. They managed and maintained fortresses, towns, and strategic sites such as Acre, Tyre, and Jerusalem. These responsibilities required not only military fortitude, but also political acumen and the ability to manage resources effectively. Their administrative capabilities were crucial in sustaining Christian dominance in these territories during the height of the Crusader states. In addition to their military and administrative roles, the Templars engaged in diplomacy with both Muslim and Christian factions. They often served as intermediaries between rival states, negotiating peace agreements or facilitating the exchange of prisoners. Their impartiality and respect among both Christian and Muslim leaders allowed them to operate as mediators during conflicts, further showcasing their significance in shaping the dynamics of Crusader society. The Templars also contributed to the technological advancements of the Crusades. They were involved in the development and use of siege warfare techniques, including the construction of advanced siege engines and the strategic design of fortifications. These innovations helped them maintain control over key territories and repel Muslim counterattacks during key battles. Throughout the Crusades, the Templars became a symbol of the Christian effort to reclaim and defend sacred land. Their commitment to the cause of Christianity and their ability to combine religious zeal with military effectiveness set them apart from other religious and knightly orders of the time. However, their unwavering dedication to the Crusader mission eventually placed them in conflict with other powers, leading to their eventual downfall with the dissolution of the order in 1312. Nonetheless, their legacy remains deeply intertwined with the history of the Crusades and their significant contributions to the religious and military struggles of the medieval Christian world. The suppression of the Templars by Pope Clement V and King Philip IV. The suppression of the Knights Templar in the early 14th century was a culmination of political, financial, and religious pressures that culminated in the dissolution of the order. At the center of this effort were Pope Clement V and King Philip IV of France, who worked in tandem to dismantle one of the most powerful institutions in medieval Europe. The collaboration between secular and religious authorities was driven by mutual interests. Philip sought to weaken the influence of the Templars for financial gain, while the papacy sought to avoid direct conflict and secure its authority over the Christian Church. Pope Clement V, who became pope in 1305, was under immense pressure from King Philip IV, who had become deeply indebted to the Templars. In addition to personal financial troubles, Philip's concerns about the political and economic power of the Templars further fueled his desire to dismantle the order. With their vast resources, the Templars posed a threat to the crown's financial independence, and their ability to control significant portions of Europe's wealth was seen as a challenge to royal authority. King Philip leveraged his influence over the papacy to ensure that the Templars would be systematically dismantled. In 1307, under Philip's direction, the mass arrests of Templars across France were ordered. These arrests targeted not only lower-ranking members but also high-ranking officials, including Jacques de Molay, the Grand Master of the Order. The charges were broad and multifaceted, ranging from heresy and blasphemy to financial misconduct and secretive oaths. This allowed the authorities to justify the extreme measures taken against the Templars. Pope Clement, under intense political pressure, reluctantly agreed to investigate the accusations against the Templars. By 1312, at the Council of Vienne, he officially dissolved the order, branding it as heretical and corrupt. Clement sought to resolve the crisis without alienating powerful European monarchs who supported the suppression. However, the dissolution was met with resistance in regions like Portugal, Scotland, and parts of Italy, where local rulers and clergy refused to comply with the decree, preserving elements of the order for years afterward. The trial and eventual suppression of the Templars were characterized by extreme measures that eroded the justice system's credibility. Torture and forced confessions were widespread, leading to unreliable evidence that often contradicted itself. The accused were coerced into making admissions of heresy and devil worship, creating a fabricated narrative that further justified the order's downfall. These practices, combined with political manipulation, undermined the rule of law and replaced justice with propaganda. In addition to the immediate political and religious motivations behind the suppression, there were also long-term implications for the structure of the church and the balance of power between secular and ecclesiastical authorities. The forced dissolution of the Templars marked a pivotal moment in the centralization of power within the church and the state. It set a precedent for future crackdowns on powerful religious orders, reducing the autonomy of monastic and military institutions in favor of a more unified control under both papal and royal power. The suppression of the Templars by Pope Clement V and King Philip IV is remembered as one of the most controversial episodes in medieval history. It not only dismantled a formidable institution, but also paved the way for subsequent secret societies and underground movements that sought to preserve aspects of the Templar legacy. Through the suppression, the Templars became immortalized in history, their legacy shrouded in mystery and conspiracy, leaving an indelible mark on the collective imagination of future generations. Templar treasure and alleged hidden wealth. One of the most enduring mysteries surrounding the Knights Templar is the legend of their vast wealth and hidden treasure. The Templars amassed enormous resources through their financial operations, land holdings, and commercial ventures, leading to widespread speculation about the extent of their wealth and what happened to it following their suppression. Over the centuries, countless theories have emerged, claiming that the Templars left behind hidden treasures, secret caches of gold, and even arcane knowledge that was concealed from the authorities. The Templars were known for their sophisticated banking practices during the Crusades and beyond. They developed early forms of international banking, establishing accounts for clients across Europe, issuing letters of credit, and providing safe transportation for valuables. Their financial empire extended from Europe to the Holy Land, where they managed assets for both pilgrims and kings. This extensive economic network allowed them to accumulate staggering amounts of wealth, much of which remains unexplained in historical records. One of the most popular theories regarding Templar wealth is the existence of a vast hoard of gold and treasures hidden in secret locations. According to legend, the Templars buried their riches in remote, hard-to-reach places or in hidden vaults beneath castles, cathedrals, or other sacred sites. Stories of secret tunnels and underground chambers filled with gold, jewels, and sacred artifacts have been passed down through generations, fueling a sense of mystery and intrigue. The dissolution of the Knights Templar in 1312 left their immense wealth at the mercy of secular and ecclesiastical authorities. While Pope Clement V officially disbanded the order, it is widely believed that much of the Templars' wealth was seized by monarchs like King Philip IV of France. Yet in many regions, especially those where local leaders had ties to the Templars, efforts were made to preserve or conceal parts of their riches. This led to the idea that certain factions within the order continued to hold on to their wealth, creating conspiracies about hidden caches or secret treasuries. The idea of Templar wealth also interlaces with conspiracy theories that suggest they were connected to powerful, ancient societies. Some claim that the Templars were guardians of knowledge passed down from earlier civilizations, or that they uncovered hidden truths about the ancient world. This supposed treasure is believed to have contained knowledge of ancient mysteries, alchemy, or even forbidden texts that were hidden away to avoid suppression by the Church. In modern times, the search for Templar treasures has fueled numerous expeditions and archaeological quests. The myth of Templar treasure has become a significant component of popular culture, appearing in books, films, and documentaries. Locations such as Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, the Isle of Malta, and various remote castles in France have been the focus of treasure hunts, with enthusiasts seeking evidence of hidden Templar wealth. Although historical evidence regarding the extent and location of Templar treasure is scarce, the legends have created an enduring fascination with the idea of buried riches and secret knowledge. The mystery surrounding the disappearance of their wealth has kept the Templars at the center of numerous speculative theories, adding an air of mysticism and allure to their legacy. Whether fact or fiction, the notion of Templar treasure continues to captivate imaginations worldwide. The Templars and the suppression of their religious influence. The suppression of the Knights Templar by Pope Clement V and King Philip IV not only dismantled their political and military power, but also had far-reaching effects on their religious influence and legacy. The Templars were not merely a fighting force. They were deeply intertwined with the religious and spiritual life of Christendom. Their strict monastic discipline, combined with their unique role in the protection of Christian pilgrims and the defense of key religious sites, made them an influential force within the Christian Church. As a monastic military order, the Templars were bound by a strict code of conduct that blended religious devotion with martial discipline. They adhered to vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, which aligned them closely with the ideals of monasticism. However, unlike traditional monks, they were also warriors who fought for the Christian faith in the Holy Land. This dual role gave them a unique place within the church hierarchy, where they served as both defenders of Christendom and spiritual advisors. One of the key aspects of Templar religious influence was their role in maintaining Christian dominance in the Holy Land. Their presence in strategic locations such as Jerusalem, Acre, and other Crusader-controlled territories provided a spiritual and moral foundation for the Christian states that emerged from the Crusades. Templars acted as both protectors of Christian pilgrims and stewards of religious institutions, ensuring the continued reverence of Christian holy sites. However, their religious influence was not without controversy. The Templars were accused of engaging in secret rituals and practices that deviated from mainstream Christianity. This led to suspicions about their true allegiances, fueling the belief that they had adopted heretical practices or sought to undermine the Church's authority. The secrecy surrounding their ceremonies, combined with their sworn oaths and mysterious initiation rites, only deepened these suspicions, making them a target for investigation and eventual suppression. Following the suppression of the Templars in 1312, their religious influence was largely extinguished. Pope Clement's decree at the Council of Vienne branded the order as heretical, which not only stripped them of their religious status, but also condemned them to historical obscurity. This move effectively severed the Templars from their spiritual mission, erasing their role as a religious institution from the Christian Church's official narrative. However, the legacy of Templar religious influence did not vanish entirely. In regions like Scotland, Portugal, and certain parts of Italy, the Templars maintained a continued, albeit more covert, influence on religious practices and traditions. In some cases, former Templars transitioned into other religious orders, preserving aspects of their spiritual heritage in new forms. The Templar mysticism and focus on personal piety endured, influencing later religious movements and esoteric traditions. Moreover, the suppression of the Templars paved the way for the rise of other secret societies and religious orders. Groups like the Freemasons and Rosicrucians drew heavily from Templar ideals, incorporating elements of their spiritual philosophy into their own rituals and teachings. This allowed the Templars' religious influence to persist in alternative forms, subtly shaping the spiritual and intellectual landscapes of the post-Templar world. In the modern era, the Templars are often romanticized for their religious zeal, spiritual dedication, and willingness to confront the challenges of the Crusades. Their religious influence, while officially suppressed, continues to resonate in various forms, from historical scholarship to popular culture. The suppression of the Templars thus marked not just the end of their formal religious power, but the beginning of a legacy that has endured in religious thought, symbolism, and esoteric traditions. The Templars' religious influence extended beyond their formal religious duties into the realms of mysticism and esoteric knowledge. Their monastic approach, combined with their unique position within the Christian world, fostered an environment where spiritual exploration and the quest for deeper understanding flourished. This led to their involvement in alchemical studies, mystical rituals, and the exploration of ancient texts, which were often hidden from mainstream religious scrutiny. These practices were integral to their identity, yet highly controversial, as they blurred the lines between orthodox Christian beliefs and more secretive, perhaps even heretical, spiritual endeavors. Their commitment to safeguarding religious sites and ensuring the spiritual well-being of Christian pilgrims imbued the Templars with a deep sense of responsibility and spiritual authority. This authority, however, did not sit comfortably with the ecclesiastical hierarchy of the Church. The Templars' ability to act independently of local and even papal control posed a threat to the centralized religious power of the Church. Their decentralized nature, coupled with their influence in high political and financial spheres, contributed to a sense of mistrust and suspicion, ultimately leading to their suppression. In addition, the dissolution of the Templars forced the Church to reassert its religious dominance, erasing the memory of the Templars and their unique religious contributions. Their suppression signaled a shift in religious authority, with a centralized Church reclaimed control over the narrative of Christian history, religious practices, and institutional power. This move was part of a broader effort to consolidate religious influence under the papacy and eliminate alternative forms of religious expression that challenged established dogma. Yet, despite their official suppression, the Templars left behind a complex legacy that continues to inspire religious and spiritual exploration. Their emphasis on personal piety, spiritual discipline, and the search for divine truth resonates with modern movements that seek to explore spiritual mysteries beyond traditional dogma. This enduring influence is evident in contemporary esoteric practices, the resurgence of interest in mysticism, and the study of ancient religious texts that were once reserved for only the most secretive circles. Moreover, the idea of a hidden Templar faith has contributed to numerous theories about secret knowledge being passed down through the ages. These theories suggest that Templar rituals and beliefs were preserved in underground movements, continuing to influence religious practices in subtle, yet profound ways. This notion has captured the imagination of scholars, historians, and spiritual seekers alike, fueling ongoing discussions about the nature of religious authority, the role of mysticism in religious life, and the complexities of faith in a world increasingly skeptical of established institutions. Ultimately, the suppression of the Templars reshaped the religious landscape of the medieval world, but it did not extinguish their influence. Instead, the Templars became symbols of resistance, seekers of truth, and harbingers of alternative religious paths that challenged the conventional norms of their time. Their legacy, interwoven with religious devotion and mystery, remains a compelling chapter in the history of Christianity, continuing to inspire inquiry and exploration into the depths of faith and spirituality. The suppression of the Templars and their subsequent decline left a profound impact not only on the religious landscape, but also on the cultural and intellectual realms of the medieval world. As their physical institutions were dismantled, the Templars' influence seeped into the broader fabric of European society, influencing art, architecture, literature, and even philosophy. Their symbolic legacy continued to resonate in ways that transcended their original purpose, blending historical fact with myth and legend. Templar imagery, symbolism, and ideas persisted through the ages, finding expression in medieval architecture, such as the construction of cathedrals, castles, and cryptic symbols in artwork. The order's use of the Red Cross and their devotion to chivalric ideals were deeply ingrained in the artistic and symbolic traditions of the Christian world. Many Gothic cathedrals, for example, are believed to have incorporated Templar-inspired motifs, from intricate stone carvings to the use of sacred geometry. These elements reflected the Templars' mysticism and spiritual aspirations, which were translated into the physical structures that continue to stand as monuments to their influence. In literature and oral traditions, the Templars were often depicted as heroic figures, guardians of secret knowledge, and protectors of sacred truths. Tales of their exploits and their alleged discovery of ancient wisdom became central to many medieval legends. Their association with the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, or even esoteric knowledge about the mysteries of the universe has permeated countless works of fiction, contributing to the creation of a rich tapestry of myths that continue to captivate the imagination. Philosophically, the Templars were seen as early proponents of intellectual inquiry and the pursuit of knowledge beyond the boundaries of orthodox theology. They were scholars and mystics who delved into the mysteries of existence, creating a foundation for the later development of Western esotericism and rational thought. Their commitment to exploring the unknown aspects of divinity and the natural world foreshadowed the Renaissance ideals of humanism and scientific inquiry, where knowledge was no longer confined solely to religious dogma. In the modern era, the Templars have become subjects of intense, scholarly research and popular fascination. Their legacy is explored in historical studies, mystery novels, and media representations that seek to uncover the truth behind their mysterious disappearance and influence. From conspiracy theories to historical investigations, the Templars remain a focal point for discussions about power, secrecy, and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. The suppression of the Knights Templar ultimately marked the end of their formal religious authority, but it did not extinguish their impact. Their story has continued to evolve through the ages, shaped by the changing perceptions of history, mystery, and the human desire to uncover hidden truths. As guardians of sacred traditions and catalysts for historical change, the Templars have left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness, serving as a symbol of resilience, secrecy, and the enduring pursuit of knowledge. The story of the Knights Templar, with its dramatic rise, enigmatic fall, and enduring legacy, continues to captivate our imagination. Their unwavering faith, pursuit of knowledge, and role in shaping medieval history have left a lasting impression on both history and popular culture. While the official suppression of the Templars marked the end of their religious and institutional influence, their mythos has survived through the ages, serving as a testament to the enduring power of mystery, heroism, and the quest for truth. In their secrecy and steadfast commitment to their ideals, the Templars remind us of the timeless human desire to explore the unknown and the enduring impact of those who dare to challenge the established order.